Omsi Saram. Good morning everyone, Saram to one and all. Today we have moved to one more new chapter. The Harappan civilization. It is one of the very important and famous and first civilization in India. It was developed on the river bank of Sindhu or Ravi. So in the previous chapter, you learned that the people in the prehistoric time used tools and weapons made of stone. Later, man started using metals. Copper was the first metal to be used by man for making tools. Gradually, several cultures developed in Indian subcontinent, which were based on the use of stone and copper tools. They also used bronze, a mixture of copper and tin, for this purpose. This phase in history is known as the Chalcolithic or Chalco-Copper Lithic Stone period. So, the Harappan civilization was discovered in 1920 to 22 when two of its most important sites were excavated. These were Harappa on the bank of the river bank of Ravi and Mohenjo-daro on the river bank of Indus. The first was excavated by Dayaram Sahani and the second by Rakaldas Banerjee. On the basis of the archaeological finding, the Harappan civilization has been dated between 2600 BC to 1900 BC and is one of the oldest civilizations of the world. It is also sometimes referred to as the Indus Valley civilization because in the beginning, majority of its settlement discovered were in and around the plains of the river Indus and its tributaries. But today, it is termed as the Harappan civilization because Harappa was the first site which brought to light the presence of this civilization. Besides, recent archaeological findings indicate that this civilization was spread much beyond the Indus Valley. Therefore, it is called as the Harappan civilization. It is the first urban culture of India and is contemporary with other ancient civilizations of the world, such as those of Mesopotamia and Egypt. Mesopotamian civilization developed on the river bank of Euphrates and Tigris, and Egypt development on the river bank of Nile. These are all two civilizations, contemporary civilization of Indian Indus Valley civilization. Our knowledge of the life and culture of the Harappan people is based only on the archaeological excavations as the script of that period has not been deciphered so far. The Harappan civilization did not appear All of a sudden, it developed gradually from earlier Neolithic village culture. The Bronze Age Indus Valley civilization or Harappan civilization was the culmination of a long and sustained cultural evolution in Indus Valley and surrounding areas. The term Indus Valley civilization was used by John Marshall for the first time. The people of this civilization were definitely in touch with other civilization, especially with Mesopotamian civilization, because in India, so many parts, availability of some seals and along with some coins are different parts of India. It is believed that the better technology to exploit the fertile plain of the river Indus might have resulted in increased agricultural production. This led to the production of larger surplus to feed and maintain non-agricultural people such as artisans, administrators, etc. It also helped in the promotion of exchange of trading contact with distant region. It brought prosperity to the Harappan people and they were able to set up cities. By around 2000 BC, several regional cultures developed in different parts of the subcontinent, which were also based on the use of stone and copper tools. These Chalcolithic cultures, which lay outside the Harappan zone, were not so rich and flourishing. These were basically rural in nature. The origin and development of these cultures is placed in the chronological span between circa 2000 BC to 700 BC. These are found in western and central India and are described as non-Harappan Chalcolithic cultures. The archaeological remains shows that before the emergence of Harappan civilization, the people lived in small villages. As the time passed, there was the emergence of small town, which ultimately led to full-fledged towns during the Harappan period. The whole period of Harappan civilization is in fact divided into three phases. First one that is known as early Harappan phase between 3500 BC to 2600 BC. It is specialized, marked by some town planning in the form of mud structures, elementary trade, hordes and crabs, etc. These are all specialized features during the time of early Harappan phase or civilization. Second one, mature Harappan phase, period between from 2600 BC to 1900 BC. It was the period in which we notice well developed towns with burnt bricks, inland and foreign trade, crafts of various types, etc. These are all the special features during the period of mature Harappan phase. And third one, late Harappan phase. Existed period between 1900 BC to 1400 BC. It was the phase of decline during which many cities were abandoned and the trade disappeared, leading to the gradual decay of the significant urban trade. So, on the basis of the saying some, according to historical, Harappan civilization classified this type of the three phases. Next headline: geographical extent of the Harappan civilization. Geographically, Harappan civilization extended from not only India, even Pakistan, Balochistan, and different parts of the area also covered. The archaeological excavations reveal that this culture was spread over a vast area, which included not only the present day states of India, such as Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and then but also Pakistan and some parts of Afghanistan also there. So, it is one of the type of biggest civilization in the world. It was extended from some important sites of this civilization are Manda in Jammu and Kashmir, Shortagai in Afghanistan, Harappa in Western Punjab or Pakistan, and along with Mohenjo-daro, Chanudaro in Sindh, Kalibangan in Rajasthan, Lothal, Dholavira, Daimabad, Maharashtra, and Suktajindar. These are all different near Pakistan or Iran borders. Is the westernmost site of the Harappan civilization, and Alamgir in western Uttar Pradesh marks its easternmost limit. So the location of settlement suggested that the Harappa Kalibangan on Gaggar Akra generally associated with the lost river Saraswati. Gaggar Akra during the time of the Harappan civilization, but now the same relation called Saraswati. And one more, Mohenjo-daro axis was the earthland of this civilization, and most of the settlements are located in this region. This area had certain uniform features in terms of the soil type, climate, and subsistence pattern. The land was flat and dependent on the monsoon and the Himalayan rivers for the supply of water. Due to its distinct geographical feature, agro-pastoral economy was the dominant feature in this region. Besides the urban settlement of the Harappans, there were many sites inhabited by the primitive communities consisting of Stone Age, hunter-gatherer or pastoral nomads which existed side by side. Some sites served as ports or trading outposts. It may be noted that The important determinants of urbanization are well-planned cities, specialized arts and crafts, trade, taxation, scrape, etc. In this respect, Harappan culture fulfilled all these criteria for being called as an urban culture. The citadel contained large structure which might have functioned as administrative or ritual center. Citadel is the type of the fort around an entirely civilization. The residential buildings are built in the lower town. The streets intersect each other at right angle in a crisscross pattern. It divides the city in several residential blocks. The main street is connected by narrow lanes. The doors of the house opened in these lanes and not the main streets. Totally industrial civilization as the three of the world civilization developed along the river bank of Egypt on Nile, Mesopotamian and Tigris and Euphrates, Chinese on the Yangtze, the industrial civilization developed on the river bank of Indus and several other nearby rivers such as Gaggar, Accra. The now dried up Saraswati and the Dushabhadra. Center of the civilization was in Sindh and Punjab. It spread in all directions. Its westernmost point was Sukhtajinder in South Balochistan, while easternmost point was Alangirpur in Meerut district of Uttar Pradesh. In the direction of north, it extended Afghanistan, while in south, its extent was up at least Maharashtra state. So far, around 1,400 settlements have been discovered, most of which are located on river banks. This civilization was the largest of the four ancient urban civilizations of Egypt, Mesopotamia, South Asia, and China, and covered an area of around 1.3 million square kilometers. This area is triangular in shape, and no other ancient civilization was extended to such a large area. The most interesting urban features of Harappan civilization is this town planning. It is marked by considerable uniformity, though one can notice some regional variations as well. The uniformity is noticed in the layout of the town, street structure, brick size, drains, etc. Almost all the major sites, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Kalibangan and others, are divided into two parts. A citadel on higher mount on the western side and a lower turn on the eastern side of the settlement. The houses of common people, however, differed in size from a single room house in Harappa to bigger structures. Houses were largely built of burnt bricks. The bigger houses had many rooms surrounding a square courtyard. These houses were provided with private wells, kitchens, and bathing platforms. The difference in size of the houses suggests that the rich lived in the larger houses, whereas the one room building or barracks might have been intended for the poorer section of the society. The drainage system of Harappa was elaborate and well laid out. Every house had drains which opened into the street drains. These drains were covered with manholes, bricks, or stone slabs, which could be removed for cleaning and clearing purpose. Were constructed at regular intervals by the side of the street for cleaning. This shows that the people were well acquainted with the science of sanitization. So it is one of the very important best civilization and first civilization maintained sanitation in the world. So these are all the different have some different features of our town planning of the Indus Valley civilization. Remaining town planning will continue in next class. Today class is end. Thank you, Saram. Once again.